that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And everyone finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
What it is, what it is. Major League Table Tennis is what it is. You're watching MLTT, and this is day number 3 of week number 11, and we're coming to you live from Everett, Washington. Are you guys ready for the action? Alrighty, well then, let's bring in our officials, shall we? Jerry Lee and Mei Wong. And our first opponents coming in right now are in second place with 180 points. A big round of applause for Texas Smash! And their opponents only 1 point in front of them at #1 in the West Division. Make some noise for the Bay Area Blasters! Alrighty, now that all the Warriors have entered the arena, let's shake some hands and slap some skins and let the games begin.
Well, everyone, welcome to week 11 of Major League Table Tennis. We're here at the Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett, Washington, and we're getting ready for the final match for these two teams of this weekend. The Bay Area Blasters taking on the Texas Smash. Both of these teams have had a pretty good weekend so far. This is going to be a pretty important showdown between these two teams. If you look at the standings, they're neck and neck, just 1 point separating them. So the winner of this team showdown between both of them is going to get some much needed points. We're in the second to last week of the West Division. So this is really important for positioning going into the last week ahead of the championships. I'm Matt Hetherington. I'm joined by Sean O'Neill in the commentary box. Sean, these two teams have had a great weekend so far. There have been so many ups and downs throughout the West Division and MLTT as a whole. What is needed from these two teams to finish off the weekend and to get into that top position when you look at the layout of two teams?
Well, Bay Area Blasters have their strongest team. This is just loaded, very top-heavy. But I'm very impressed with the Texas team. They are so hungry. They played so well last night. And Daryl Sow, what a performance by the young gun.
Yeah, I mean, especially given that they don't have their coach Jorg and they don't have Dave Macbeth. Sean, if we look at the lineup for Bay Area Blasters versus Texas Smash, I mean, some pretty good-looking lineups here. What stands out to you as potentially being the big match here?
Well, the match that I'm most interested in is to see Sonora Silva against Daryl Sow. A lot of power from both players. Silva played huge with a sweep yesterday. All these matches should be very tough.
Certainly going to have some big ones coming up. Well, we'll be starting off soon with Tao Wenjang versus Nandan Naresh to get this match started between the Bay Area Blasters and the Texas Smash.
for commercial break because this is professional action right here. When you see a great rally, check out the replays if you got VIP courtside right here. Turn around, twist every once in a while, listen to your back crack as you stretch it out and enjoy the highlights. For everyone else in this part of the VIP section, the nosebleeds, it's pretty amazing you guys got to come down and play. This is cool, Vaughn. I'm happy you made it. All right, so lots to look forward to here. MLTT.com is where you can find all the statistics you need about these players, the league, the schedule, and we've got a merch shop. Raise your hand if you've got an MLTT shirt. Nice, I see a VIP section. I heard it's included in your tickets. Now the shirts are valuable, so if you get a free shirt, it's almost like upgrading your seat to this is getting paid to get a free shirt. That's how good the deal is for me.
Well, we're ready for the first match here between Texas Smash and the Bay Area Blasters, between Tao Wen-jung and Nandan Naresh.
Game 1.
This could be a pretty electric match, Sean.
The experience of Tao Wen-jung, U.S. Open champion from a number of years back, against one of the youngest U.S. men's team members. Tao Wen-jung very strong on the backhand using the penholder grip, although hits the ball on the backside of the paddle. Very strong on the forehand as well.
0-2.
Nandan loves to go for big points, big shots. There's a nice backhand down the line. That's going to be a perfect location for Nandan to attack just because Tao is so strong from the backhand corner. And that's what Tao wants to do. He wants to get into a backhand-to-backhand exchange. Sometimes he'll put a little bit more side spin on the ball. He can place it with ease down the line, but he likes to set his forehand up. That's his big power. That's a heavy spin there that goes long.
This is the first time against the Bay Area Blasters that Nandan's played in the AB position. Obviously, Dave Macbeth not being able to make it here. So, big responsibility on the shoulders of...
And you can see Matt Tao, he's just taking his time to get that first spin in, really leaving Nandan no place to go.
Three, 4.
Nandan plays very well off the bounce, especially on the wings. And you can hear Nandan giving some self-encouragement before each serve. Oh, that was...
You're going to see a lot of stuff like
yeah,
that.
lucky break there for Nandan. He pushed a high ball. Tao went straight to his forehand. Nandan able to keep it back in the center of the table. And that's not going to be where Nandan wants to be off the table. The angles are too strong from Tao.
I must say, this Bay Area Blasters team has been pretty hungry looking this weekend. This is the first time we've seen in their lineup Tao Wen-jung, Marjin Bao, and Lasheen El-Sayed all here together at the same time.
And then you add Lily Jung on the team as well in doubles, and she's played a number of singles, but so often it comes down to the golden game. It's the coach's choice to mix and match, and go outside the 1, 2, and 3, 4 positions and place the players anywhere.
Nandan going for the counter. I think Nandan has so many different unorthodox shots. You never really know what to expect from him. Chop blocks, inside out, forehand fades. It's interesting to see that kind of stuff come back into the game. I mean, you saw a lot more of it, you know, back in the 80s and even the early 90s, but table tennis has tended to go in a more linear direction.
I think the players are just trying to be as creative and do something new. And just great shots by both players.
8-7.
And just getting into these rallies and then just pulling out all the stops to go for the big shots.
7.
Point back at the bench from Naresh. Goes up 2 points to 0 on the serve there. 9-7 in the lead. A little bit early on that backhand.
9.
Nandan has really kept Tao off balance. Not sure whether he should go big and stay consistent.
Short drop from Nandan. Look at that connection with the bench.
8.
3 game points for Naresh. And he gets it.
11.
A great start to the match from Nandan Naresh. 11-8. The first game goes to the Texas Smash.
Texas Smash goes up 1-0. This news also just in. There's a tie for first place in the West Division. Texas Smash just tied first place with Bay Area Blasters. They both stand at 181 points. West Division is incredibly tight right now. The top 3 teams are all very much in contention for first place. Today changes everything. Interesting. We've only got one more week for the West Coast. It'll be in Kansas, in Wichita. It's in April, I'm going to say 5th through the 7th. It's all on MLTT.com. Seattle Spinners. Anyone here a fan of the Seattle Spinners? Oh, more than Paddlers fan. I like the shirts. I was mentioning shirts before. You got personal shirts, there's training shirts, and there's competition shirts. Both available in the merch shop. So show your allegiance to make silhouettes for your favorite team. Here today, it'll be interesting to see as we have digital coaching. If you have any questions, whether you played tournaments before and you think you know everything there is to know about table tennis, I definitely don't. But I'm happy to help if I can. And if you're newer to table tennis and you want to know something, don't be shy, no problem. I won't make anyone look bad unless I know really well. But I will say that if you have a question, chances are good a lot of other people have the same question, and I want to address it. Game number 2, Texas Smash leads 1-0. This is game number 2.
All right, start of the second game.
Game 2.
High energy
Master
from
0-0.
Nandan Naresh in the first. Let's see if Tao and Zhang can fight back here in the second.
Nandan really putting his emotions on his sleeve here after every point.
1-1.
It's been really great to see him with so much energy, given that he's flown straight from Busan, Korea after the World Championships, straight to here in Everett, Washington for this Major League match. And he's just
2-1.
shown no signs of jet lag or tiredness. He's put everything on the line out on the table.
And he is so amped up every opportunity. I think it's really causing Tao some issues on whether to
1-3.
Tao looks like he's gotten into a better rhythm here to start the second game. Smart play from him there.
Yeah, just a nice controlled spin once Nandan left the table. Oh, that's a beautiful loop off the bounce by Nandan Naresh. So fluid.
Great timing. You can see he just turned the racket angle a little bit to guide that ball down the line.
Another
4-3.
beautiful off the bounce backhand attack. directly off the serve.
Nandan Naresh currently 39th on the MLTT rankings, 9 and 12 in singles, 22 and 29 in golden games. So he'd certainly like to gain a bit more traction on the standings.
Very aggressive off of the half-long serve. Not willing to just block it on the table, but counterattacking it to the middle. Great location. Staying away from Tao's backhand. I mean, that's just amazing how fast Nandan is on the backhand. This is exactly what Texas would love to have. A 2-point lead, possibly a sweep.
It's not going to cut it for Nandan. I think one of the things that we noticed with Tao on day one, he came up against Nikhil Kumar, a 2-time US national champion, but also a very disruptive play style. That's a huge point from both players.
5-7.
You can hear how much energy Tao Wen-jung's putting into this. Big firepower. Yeah, I think, you know, obviously Tao had the advantage against Nikhil being a coach for a long time, but those kind of unorthodox shots, he just didn't seem to have as much trouble with, and I think that's going to factor here against Nandan as well.
And it really feels to me like Nandan is playing 2.0. He's just adding so much more. I'm sure coming back from the World Championship, seeing the international field game continues to progress, and Nandan putting so much pressure where in the past maybe he blocked the ball. Now he's going for the re-loop. Changes the dynamic of the points. It's not simply who can make the first attack, but who can cover after the attack to deal with the counterattack. Great footwork by Tao Wen-jung.
These points are going to be crucial now for both players. Tao Wen-jung has got to stop Nandan from taking a 2-point advantage from this match.
Seven, 9.
Tao Wen-jung 31st on MLTT standings, 20 and 19 in singles, so he's positive ratio there. I think it will be about even after the last 2 matches.
There's Tao's backhand. So explosive. He's going to have to continue to do that to put pressure on Nandan. Interesting serve and a great follow.
10,
Hit the ball on the forehand side of the racket, though he was standing with his backhand. You can see it coming from the other side, and then a quick right off the bounce. Beautiful backhand out to the forehand side.
There it is.
Game 2.
11-8 for game 2. Despite a very energetic and spirited start from Nandan Naresh, it's the experienced Tao Wen-jung who fights back and takes game 2 to tie things up here, and we'll go down to a deciding third game in just a moment.
Also, yesterday you were here to talk a little bit about COVID and what not to do, and I started it all. Sharing earbuds, apparently, between all the team. Either way, as Nandan gets his potassium out there from the banana, he's also getting coaching from York and throughout. So it's almost like he's here in person. Pretty cool time to be alive, right? I think it's only getting crazier. Hey Siri, what should I serve to Nandan Naresh? Hey ChatGPT, how do I return that crazy serve? Because I can't tell if he's hitting it with his backhand or his forehand. Raise your hand if you wonder which side of the racket Tao Wen-jung is serving with.
Time.
Good. He often uses the backhand side of his racket, but I can't always tell either. So keep your eyes on the replay, keep a close look on his serves. This is game 3, the decider. Let me hear you make some noise.
Well, ready to start the third game. It's the first match here between Bay Area Blasters and Texas Smash. Bay Area still holding that 1-point lead at the top of the table. But I'm sure both of these teams would like a big victory margin, but I think we're going to be in for a close one. And Tao joining his teammates on the bench almost in that point, right at the back barrier.
A little bit of air Tao as he gets both feet off the ground. Tries to just get one more forehand loop to bring the ball down. Great point.
There have been a couple of occasions we've seen from Nandan where he either times the ball kind of perfectly on the backhand, but then the follow-up, sometimes he's a little bit early. You see the ball kind of veers off to the side. Good example again there, just racket much further in front of the body than it needs to be.
This is where Tao just fights to get that forehand in. He cannot put it within Nandan's reach because he will get the ball counterattacked. Look at that play.
Speaking of counterattacks, Sean.
Just amazing for Nandan to track down. He had to cover both sides, getting his racket on the ball. And look at the extreme angle that he got at the same time.
Tao's got to know that a strong start here would mean everything for his team. Knowing that he has Ma Jianbao and Lachine and Lily behind him as well.
And Silva.
Yeah, and Sonora Silva. I mean, what a team the Bay Area has showed up with this weekend.
2-5.
This is that down the line opportunity. Players switch ends. Next singles coming up between Sonora Silva and Daryl Tsao. Both of these players incredibly quick around the table. It's going to be an interesting one. Wow.
What a backhand from Tao Wen-jung. At first I was thinking Nandan really jumped into this one. I don't know how he had the time to make a backswing. And then just changing the serve up, mixing it. Nandan has been so aggressive on all of his serve returns. Oh, and that's a bullet.
Tao Wen-jung in control here in game 3. And missed serve. Things tending south a little bit for Naresh here. That backhand from Tao.
Yeah, you don't want to open up soft to the backhand side.
Yeah, combination of early timing and reverse panhold grip, and the ace serve gets it done. Tao Wen-jung takes game 3 in a very decisive 11-2 fashion to put 2 points on the board for the Bay Area Blasters. Pretty good start for them. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. We'll be right back in a moment with the match between Sonora Silva and Daryl Tsao. Well, Tao and Zhang, congratulations on a great win in your first match. 2-1 over Nandan Naresh. Obviously, Nandan came out of the blocks pretty strong.
Yeah.
How did you turn things around to try and get him, you know, and feeling a little bit less confident or attacking a little bit less?
Yeah. So first game, first set, as Nana plays crazy, plays backhand, down the line, try down the line, and then when the third return, he's always attack. So after first set, so I'm trying to serve. Always different placement. Sometimes backhand short, sometimes forehand short, sometimes middle long. And I know his rally is very good, but I'm trying to play top 3 shot. Yeah.
Going into your next match, which is the mixed doubles, how do you feel chances are, because every point matters so much?
Yeah, so I know it's Kasahara and Amy, they played very good this time. So also me and Lily is the first time to play. So we will try every single game we can. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you've had some kind of ups and downs across the weekend. Obviously, you had a really tough match with Cole yesterday.
Yeah.
How's the knee feeling? Do you feel good out there playing today? I know across, you know, as the weekend goes on, it can get harder for you.
So Neat is the first match play Nikyu is everything good.
Yeah.
And before the play Cole also good. And after play Cole, you know Cole is so strong, it's everything. So make it worse now. Yeah, but it's yeah, I'm trying best. But still, it's a very difficult to play Cole.
Yeah, well, keep going. We'll see you in the doubles, and then, of course, in the golden game later. Well done, Tao. Head back to table side. Singles number 2. It's between 4th-ranked player in the league, Sonura Silva from Sri Lanka, against Daryl Sao. These two players are among the quickest players in the league, close to the table. We saw Daryl yesterday in a 3-0 sweep against Andrew Sao, playing unbelievably. Almost didn't put a foot wrong in that match. But Sonura, we talked yesterday, me and you here, Sean, about professionalism and the approach to the match. I think both of these players have a really great approach and build up to these matches to make sure they're...
And I think almost, you look kind of pound for pound, they're both in the same weight division. They both play big, play above their weight with huge forehands. And I think it's really going to be who's playing better today. I think either day, any day of the week, either player could win. But it's going to be get the momentum, good tactics, and just keep the pressure on. Neither one can afford to play passive or safe and just keep it on the table, because big shots are going to be rewarded. Look at that backhand right there.
4-1.
This has kind of been a revival weekend for Daryl so far, showing a step up in maturity and approach to the matches.
This is just tremendous. I mean, Daryl continues to make that great across the body kind of fading forehand, stepping around, but you can't count Sonura Silva out off the table. He is so quick. He was able to somehow get his racket on that ball and keep the pace going. And I really like that second loop by Silva. Didn't go for too much, but kept it nice and low. Got it away from Daryl's forehand. Daryl's forehand has just really been on fire this weekend.
I think one of the things that stands out in this match is these are styles that both players are going to be comfortable with. You know, these fast rallies, quick exchanges, not huge shots with big power like we saw with Tao and Zhang in the last match, but speed and acceleration.
Yeah, a lot of speed and quickness, tempo. Very clean balls going over the net. A lot of depth to both of their attacks as well. Look at that. Somehow Silva found that small hole of an opening.
Yeah, it seems like he's won a few points from targeting that wider forehand.
Daryl's forehand is, I'm not going to say new and improved, but it is so consistent right now. Great footwork. just really drives through the ball.
That's the Fantasy League running each week, and for the season, Fantasizer.com. You can join at any point during the season. There's prizes each week to choose your own team of players.
I have a feeling that Daryl's cost to be chosen next week, or at least for Wichita, is going to go up substantially. I know you got in on a basement bargain deal.
Absolute bargain. And steady pace there, things slowing down a little bit. I think that's important also, especially for Daryl, when he gets in a position where Sonora's really comfortable with the paces. Slow things down a little bit, change the rhythm.
You don't want to have to win every point with a killer rip or forehand blast. You want to win some easy points, but from off the table, Silva has such good footwork. He's able to run basically everything down.
Now backed off, tries to go for the backhand counter.
We've got some separation here at 9-6 with the serve.
Sonora's looking pretty strong out there. Gets it onto the corner.
7-9.
Good opening there against the half-long ball from Daryl Zhao.
Wow. What a step around by Silva after he defended so nicely with that forehand block.
What a shot down the line to finish that point. Still going to need 2 more of those just to level. Sonora Silva still in a pretty good position here in the first game. Daryl tries to go for the early timing, makes the unforced error. Sonora backed off the table, he gets the job done, 11 points to 8. Sonora Silva takes game 1. The Blasters leading 3-1 in points now in this first match of our MLTT Sunday. Game number 2 about to kick off. Bay Area Blasters 184 on overall points. Trying to push themselves and stay in this top position on the West Division leaderboard. Sonora Silva making a pretty strong case there in game 1. Sean, I think one of the main differences was Daryl, to play with the speed that he plays with, he has to stay right up on the table. Sonora, he has a little bit more time to build up into his shots, playing kind of closer up in the mid-distance. That's just textbook stuff.
These guys are so amazing. Every time I think there's a great shot by one player, it just gets returned with a better shot by the opponent. Silva really finding the rhythm right now.
Daryl backed off the table again. He doesn't want to be back there. It's a long way away from the table for him. I think one of my favorite things from this weekend so far has been not just the audience, but the players on the bench. Whenever there's a good point, we have a Jumbotron in here, and they see the same replays that we see on the live stream on the Jumbotron, and you'll just see, after a good point, Margin Bao and Tao looking up at the Jumbotron to see the replay.
It just seems like from the backcourt that Silva can play at all different speeds, where Daryl's been going full force every single time.
I think the rotation's a big factor, especially on the backhand side. Silva tends to roll the ball more, blistering backhand. There's the look up to the Jumbotron.
I mean, if there was ever the perfect name for the team, the Blasters, that was just a complete.
0-6.
That's putting so much pressure on Daryl Sao, and Sonora Silva can go for a shot with that amount of force on it, but then have the sense to place the next one outside of that power zone. I think that's the first forehand loop I've seen Daryl miss when he was in position. That's 7-0 here in game 2.
Daryl almost handed him an opportunity to turn the tables there.
Was stepping into that final loop. Just too far off the table, but you could see him lining it up. I think a little overconfident. Going for the second one would have been too much to expect, but Silva has a number of points to play with, up 7-2 here in game 2. That's a safer backhand opening by Silva, just to get into the rally.
I think in this situation, I mean, obviously, Daryl had a really great match with Andrew yesterday. You know, when you're playing other youth table tennis players, you can kind of get away with having that almost flat kind of backhand counter. Sonora's always brushing the ball. He's always playing topspin. And it's just, I think it's too comfortable for him, the backhand of Daryl.
Left. 2-9.
And Silva's just so quick off the serve. That was an attempted deep serve, but Silva able to turn that into an offensive return and placed it so well right into the middle.
11-2.
Silva, 11 points to 2. I mean, big change up from a pretty close first game. Sonora Silva of the Bay Area Blasters taking the driver's seat there in game 2. Gives him a 2-0 lead in the match. 4-1 the lead now for the Bay Area Blasters.
I like it first. Rumor has it you got some questions. Talk to me, Bert. Yes, I can. Answer the question. What's your second question? That was a joke. I'll answer it. All right. So the answer is, it was more about, so first of all, 4 centimeters, the maximum thickness that a racket can be tested at. Millimeters, 4 kilometers is the most, 4 kilograms is the most the rubber can be in thickness in the future. No. So 4 millimeters, the thickness is the max. So they test for this. In centimeters, look at me. God, America, why didn't you get us on miles and feet and all these weird things? What's wrong with us? All right. Anyway, he turned in his racket late, and so he had to test after the match. His racket was too thick. The decision was right. Everything was fair. It was upsetting. It was unfortunate, but it was all right. More questions later, but first...
Well, you can see the standings there. 185 for the Bay Area Blasters. But everything's really close. It shows you how important 1 point could be.
Team
Sal,
three.
can he come back in the third
Smash
game
serves,
and put another
0-0.
point on the board for the Texas Smash?
And Texas is trying to create some separation with the Paddlers at 178. Paddlers counting on the Blasters to keep the momentum going. Top two teams qualify for the playoffs from the Western Conference. A chance to win over $100,000.
Sonora just steady back from the table, but quick close to the table. It's comfortable both close and at the mid distance. Of course, if you haven't seen Sonora Silva playing before, the journey of him in MLTT is really incredible. He was a draft pool player. He didn't get selected by a team in the beginning of the season. He played as a pool substitute for the Princeton Revolution in the East Division. Had a great weekend there, and then when the opening came up with the Bay Area Blasters, they put Sonora Silva in their permanent lineup, and he's skyrocketed since then to number 4 in the league.
Really delivered, just in the 3-4 spot, so dependable. And again, we spoke about it earlier, the consummate team player. Always there encouraging the teammates, great in the warm-up, the practice partner. Just does a super job.
Players switching ends in this second singles. We'll lead into the doubles match coming up next between Tao Wen-Zhang, Lily Zhang, taking on Hiromitsu Kasahara and Amy Wong.
Very smart, tactical move there, starting with the backhand, giving Daryl Sal nothing to work with, but being able to bring in his offense very quickly.
Silva just really hasn't looked back here since the beginning of game 2. I think that backhand side for Daryl's been more of a problem this match.
Yeah, reaching for the ball. Again, I think there's just a little bit of forcing, just trying to put too much into every shot. Silva playing off Daryl's speed and spin much better. That was a lucky ball that touched the top of the net.
It really shows you how much confidence is as a factor in this. I mean, Daryl was unstoppable yesterday. A few little tactical things here and there from Sonora. And
I think, Matt, what you mentioned about when juniors are playing juniors, there's a chance for both players to go all out. Sonora has really, from the tactical standpoint, shut down Daryl much more in that backhand-to-backhand exchange. Again, good opening, but unable to convert and keep the pressure on. Silva just grabbing points by the handful.
And Daryl goes for the down the line shot, doesn't connect. Sonora Silva with a sweep, 3 games to 0. Bay Area Blaster bench will be thrilled with that, to have 3 points on the board. They now lead 5 games to 1 here.
That is an enthusiastic and wonderful question. And my answer is, I believe they have the right to. So, there will be a draft. The retention, you can imagine that many players will be hot items to be retained by the coaches. This season has been fascinating. There's been a lot of passion. After a performance like this from Sonora Silva, I mean, just an example, but there are a lot, right? Anyone here seen Carolina Gold Rush play? Watch them online? Carolina Gold Rush? Raise your hand if you've seen Carolina Gold Rush. Okay. If you haven't, when the East Division plays in late March, you should be watching online. It'll be incredible. The Carolina Gold Rush is so far out in front that I don't even think there's a chance for anyone else to take first at this point in the East Division. They're dominant. It's incredible. Okay, coming up, we've got doubles. You might see some new players on the court. You already know Tao
Well, we're going to have a quick chat here courtside with Sonora Silva after that impressive 3-0 sweep there. Sonora, I know when you compare yourself and Daryl, you're probably two of the quicker players in the league. How did that factor into this? I think you looked really comfortable with his pace out there.
Yeah, because I feel like he didn't change even a bit. Like the way he started the game, like game number 1, I was like really comfortable with playing like consistent rallies. Like even though like he plays like 100 rallies, I was so comfortable with playing with him. So yeah, I played really well.
So were you also hoping to get more into backhand and backhand exchanges or serve and serve return? What was the key factor for you?
After my hook serve, I always try to go with backhand to backhand shots because his forehand is so powerful. So if he step around, then I have to definitely go back. So I was playing backhand to backhand so many rallies, yeah.
And of course, as the match went on, you just kind of continued to steamroll. How important is this for you? I mean, to not just to get these points for your own MLTT standing, which is pretty incredible, but also for the team. I mean, you guys are at the top of the table right now.
Yeah.
Are you feeling pretty good about playoff chances here?
Yeah, I think so. If we win today, I feel like we have better chances going to the playoffs. I feel like we needed more points to like get the gap between the teams. So yeah, I helped my team pretty much, I feel like.
Well, yeah, I mean, couldn't have been a better outcome for them. 3 points to the Bay Area Blasters, and you're now at the top of the table with 186. So well done, Sonora, and we'll see you back towards the end of the Golden Game.
Thank you so much.
Of course, we have a few matches before that Golden Game happens. This one in the third match is going to be the doubles. Tao Wen-Zhang and Lily Zhang taking on the Texas Smashers, Hiromitsu Kasahara and Amy Wong. Don't let the rankings fool you. This match could go either way. We've seen, of course, Tao mentioned in our post-match interview, this is the first time he and Lily are playing together in Major League Table Tennis. They had an incredibly decisive 3-0 win in the first match of the weekend over the Seattle Spinners, Olajide Amatayo and Fabiola Diaz. And then, of course, came back yesterday and got the opposite result against Kola and Rachel Sung. So
yeah, the doubles teams have really come onto their own with more and more match play. Gives them the ability to set up patterns, to be able to figure out how to maximize their strengths. But this is going to be an excellent match here. Texas with a lot of speed. I say that the Blasters' backhands, in addition to their forehand, what a shot by Lily Zhang. She just, I don't know how she reached it, but somehow ran it down and then just blasted it down the line.
Now having these two ladies players here in Major League Table Tennis for the US is a big testament to their accolades as athletes. Amy Wong, reigning Pan American champion.
National champion.
National champion, US Open champion.
Repeated.
Yep. Lily, of course, having just qualified for her 4th Olympic Games, something that Amy will certainly be hoping to also do. Well, qualify for her 1st, I should say, not her 4th, but qualify for Paris. A lot of firepower out there.
No, they're going to need a speed gun or a radar gun because these guys are just so powerful. Both teams can take the ball off the bounce.
5-3.
Overshot there from Tao Wen-Zhang.
Beautiful. Over the table. All 4 players have such good short games. Any serve that pops up a little bit is a candidate to being finished. Look at
Amy Wong also is just so versatile with the backhand flick game.
both directions.
Both corners, yeah. Zhang in with the forehand flick.
6.
6-5 the lead for the Bay Area Blasters here. The Texas Smash, they need to put some points on the board here.
And Kazahara needs to take advantage of the male-female pattern right now. Texas has the slight advantage, but Lily has been playing very strong, actually putting more pressure on Amy. And that's what Kazahara, he has to play offense so that Amy then can get a chance to attack Lily's returns. Almost lost 3 spectators in the VIP section with that last one.
I think if you look back across the season, the Bay Area have probably had the highest numbers of different doubles combinations throughout. We've had Tao and Adi Gardwani, we've had Tao and Angie Tan, we've had Tao and Oriel Monzo, we've had Marjin Bao and Lily. Now we have Tao and Zhang and Lily.
Oh, look at that powerful forehand by Amy Wong to even it up. And Matt, I think the one thing that we'll all agree on, the Blasters have such a strong lineup this weekend. All their stars are here. And Amy Wong, 2 back-to-back kill shots.
I mean, given that lineup is going to be so tough in singles, the Texas Smash.
And then
if
in the
they
golden
could get
game.
3, I mean, if they could get 3 here in the doubles, it'd be big for them. Oh, what a point!
I mean, if this isn't highlight material, I don't know what is. Both teams just blasting the ball back and forth.
What a finish from Kazahara.
And you knew it was going to be a bigger shot than the previous one.
And Amy Wong gets it finished with the serve return. 11 points to 7, a much needed and very welcomed point for the Texas Smash. Firefights out there in this doubles match between Kazahara and Wong, and Lily Zhang and Tao and Zhang. Well, good, strong performance from the Texas Smash duo to win the first game. Helps them stay close to the Blasters on the leaderboard. Still a 5-2 lead for the Bay Area Blasters. 2 games left here in the doubles.
And Amy Wong just continues to deliver some finishing blows. Just so strong on the short returns. It's like the server disadvantage. Both when Amy and Kazahara returning serves, they're just using such strong serve return.
First point on the board for Bay Area. Of course, we have to give an honorable shout out to the Snohomish County Sports Commission and the city of Everett. We're here at the Angel of the Winds Event Center, and a really nice city, a very scenic city. Had some excellent marketing support from these two entities to help get people in the seats here. We had a great night last night on Saturday. I mean, seats filled, plenty of popcorn in the audience as well, which was a highlight for me. But great table tennis, and everyone's really enjoyed being here across the weekend.
Well, the players have had a wonderful time. They've been delivering some amazing table tennis here in Everett.
Kasahara going for broke on that forehand. This order seems to be doing pretty well for the Texas Smash.
And it should favor the Blasters. But Kasahara has stepped up and put a lot of pressure on Tao and Zhang.
6-3.
Goes for the flip, not able to make it. Bay Area Blasters close to within 1 point.
Just clawing their way back 1 point at a time.
I feel like one at a time has become a pretty important mantra here in Major League Table Tennis. Whether it's games, points,
7-5.
overall team points.
And Texas has just gone for such big shots from the very first match with Tao and Nandan. Whereas the Bay Area Blasters, a little safer, a little more spin, moving the ball around.
7-6.
Happy to take errant shots like that last one off of Amy's edge of her paddle. Beautiful over the table forehand flip kill. Lily's been extremely aggressive in this match.
Timeout. Smash.
Yeah, I know we talked to her in post-match before, and she's just more free. Players are going to go back to the bench, and Coach Jörg Bitzigayo over in Germany is going to be giving some.
There's so much excitement right now. I can't even tell you. Thinking about what we're watching is really crazy. I see a Cal Berkeley shirt here. You look familiar.
Do you want the Amy play short or play long?
Michael, oh, we played. Oh, you beat me in a really crazy teams match. Wow, I remember that. That was a good one. And then did we play again in a park later on?
If you play, I think the short is good.
Are you cheering for Lily?
Then you need to be ready to start. It's always long ball.
Cool. How about you guys? You cheering for Lily?
If you play long,
anyone else here cheering for Lily?
Stay more close. It's always very slow.
I can't hear you. Anyone else here cheering for Lily?
But try to keep the ball short.
Okay.
And then you can start with a good first loop.
It's a doubles event, so I guess Talon John gets to reap the collateral benefit of that as well.
Come on.
Whoa!
Confidence, guys.
Let's go.
Whoa, we've got Talon John supporters up in the underground here. If you see someone in black who looks really
Texas
shy,
Smash coach Jörg Bitzigayo not able to be here in Seattle this weekend, but he's been up at all hours of the night and the early morning. He was up at 5, 6 a.m. yesterday during the evening match for the Texas Smash.
8-7.
Teams will have 2 timeouts each during the singles and doubles. So only one used so far by the Texas Smash. Ball goes long from Lily. It's a positive body language on the Bay Area side.
And they've been communicating really well in between points. Never getting down, even off of a missed shot. Placement winner by Lily.
You could see how quickly she moved to get out of the way, just in case that ball was going to come back.
Her footwork has been outstanding in this doubles match. Often she is, you could see back and forth.
She was out. She was out of there. Asahara over the table backhand. Ties things up at 9 points.
These are the biggest points right now. Serve return so strong by the Texas Smash.
Tao Wen-Zhang was just sitting, waiting for it.
How is that shot even possible? To be able to return and over the table, back down the line.
Asahara goes for it again. Not able to connect. This time it's the Bay Area Blasters who capitalize at the end of a very close game. 11 points to 9 for the Blasters. They're 6-2 in the lead. We'll see which team comes out on top in the third game of this doubles match.
I would love to confirm you would be agreeable. I would say it's probably the oldest shot of anything out here. The reason I say that is, from an equipment standpoint, the rubber that players use now, there was a time when it was called sandwich rubber, because before that, everything was hardback. Right, so when you were playing with hardback, you couldn't spin the ball quite as much. You had a lot of choppers, because attacking, you could only spin it so much. So it was much closer to a punch. Now the spring of this sandwich rubber also allows it that kind of effect. But I feel like it's more of a stepping stone before you get to say the list that we saw from Rachel Sullivan today, Kasahara today, most of these players. The punch is just a little bit more basic routine, but it's an effective short way when you see an opening to hit the ball from out in front and take advantage of the timing. But a good question, good observation, and I will say that players like Tomokazu Harimoto and Yumi Ito have brought it back.
All right, so the third game coming up here. Bay Area Blasters, 187 total points on the table. Top two teams. At the end of the West Division season, we'll go through to the playoffs. So we have one more weekend to go in early April in Wichita, Kansas. But right now, the positioning of the teams coming out of this weekend is going to be really important. This is kind of the build-up to the almost the finish line.
You want to be in control of your own destiny in Wichita. You don't want to have another team beat a team by a certain score to make the top two. And these are the top two teams in the Western Conference as of right now.
0-3.
Things could change when the paddlers play against the spinners in the second part of our doubleheader.
4-0.
And could this situation get any better for the Bay Area Blasters? They switch ends, 5 points to 0 in the lead. A commanding start to the third game. This spells trouble for the Texas Smash. You look at the singles lineups coming up. Very experienced Lasheen Al-Sayed facing off against Nishant Labaka, who's in as a substitute for Dave Macbeth in the next singles. See what Labaka can bring to the table there. But the Texas Smash desperately needs some points. They don't want to go into the Golden Game without a chance of coming out on top of this match, especially given how close they are at the top of the table with the Bay Area.
1-6.
Just the experience of the Blasters losing often. The first game of the match we saw with Nandan taking the first game, and then Tao Wen-Zhang coming back strong too. Sonora Silva, tight first game, but sweeping. And now in the doubles, Texas takes the first one, and then Bay Area Just kind of reels them back in with experience.
7-2.
That's a shot that Tao normally makes. Lily knows she should have played a forehand on that last ball. Nice drop shot by Lily.
8 points to 3 in the lead.
See Lily putting a lot of spin on this ball. Kazahara trying to drive it.
9-3.
It's going to be a pretty difficult scoreline to fight back from for the Texas Smash here as we get towards the end of the third game.
Amy with a very nice forehand smash. Those balls are almost impossible to return or counterattack.
What a counter from Tao Wen-Zhang. Sets up a
4-10.
multiple of match points. Won't get the first.
5-10.
Won't get the second either. Texas Smash digging their heels in here. Can they take 4 more? That's the real question.
Exactly.
Ten, 7.
Do you think we'll see a timeout here?
It's right there. I just saw Maggie stand up. Oh, no, she's just standing up to clap. And the Bay Area Blasters get it done. It's a very tense last point there with a lot of drop shots, and everybody seemed to be waiting to attack. Sahara went for it. Tao Wen-Zhang had things covered. 2-1 for the Bay Area Blasters. Their scoreline is increasing. Texas Smash need to turn things around. We'll be back with Lily in just a moment. Well, Lily, congratulations on a very hard-fought doubles match. It was pretty intense out there. Obviously, the first day you and Tao played really well together. The second day was tough. You've kind of sealed the weekend with the advantage. You seem to be playing a little bit more aggressively out there than we're used to seeing. Was that something that you were conscious of during that doubles match?
Yeah, for sure. I think my game is usually a little bit low risk, and I like to play more rallies on the table, but I realized after the first game that I don't think that strategy would work against them. I think it was important to go out swinging no matter what, win or lose the point, but I think that was the key factor for us playing more aggressively.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Your next match is Golden Game. Who would you like to match up against?
I'm going to say the politically correct answer and say anyone.
That's not the answer Sean was hoping
I
for
know.
at all.
I actually didn't even think too much about it, so maybe not hero because I lost him last time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When you approach the golden game, I mean, do you think the more aggressive mentality that you have in the doubles and that you've had in some of the matches throughout this weekend is going to help you more in this golden game?
Yeah, definitely. I think golden game definitely favors like players who are more aggressive. First 3 points, good serves. My game is usually, take a while to get into it. So I think playing more aggressively is a good strategy for me.
Well, we look forward to seeing it in action in the golden game soon. Congratulations, Lily.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, we have a match here in the third singles of this showdown between the Bay Area Blasters and the Texas Smashers, between the very experienced Egyptian Olympian Lasheen Al Sayed, and he's taking on Nishant Labaka. Nishant,
Match 4, game 1.
Challenging position to be in sometimes when you're coming out of the draft pool to try and fill in for a player like David Macbeth.
Well, I think his style really works well because he's going to be hitting a lot of balls, not a lot of long rallies, and to kind of come out of the pool, his goal really is to just take as many points as possible. Expectations aren't going to be as high as if Macbeth was playing this match. The challenge is going to be the experience of El Sayed Lasheen, just countless matches internationally for Egypt, both at World Championships and Olympics. Of course, he's older, but look at the power, stepping around his backhand, bringing the offense. He certainly has played a lot against these pips out hitters during his career.
2-3.
Labaka really needs to stay up at the table. He can't afford to back off.
3-3.
Yeah, I mean, Nishant Labaka's short pips forehand, it's something that can play as a big advantage factor when you come up against a player who has so many decades of experience like Lasheen. He has so much variation.
And he's just getting free points like that. He doesn't have to always work and get his forehand in. Labaka has to reduce the unforced errors. That's a nice opening after the forehand.
Very aggressive from Nishant. I mean, he's got to take those opportunities.
And those are going to be the tough ones. Once Lasheen is able to really load up that forehand topspin, he can take it in each direction. Labaka's going to need to be up at the table, and there's a nice two-shot combo by Lasheen.
I mean, the difficulty when you're playing against someone like Lasheen is he just compounds off each shot. It's multiple directions, down the line shots, fades.
It would be like playing a boxer where you're getting body shots and then all of a sudden he does an uppercut and then here comes the knockout punch. So experienced in mixing up the spin, the speed, the placement. The only thing he's been challenged with is a little bit with his arm injury. That stopped him from getting a chance to practice. And we asked him earlier, what's the best thing about table tennis? And he just said it's his life. He loves to play. When he can't get out there even to practice, it just drives him crazy.
Well, we all know that feeling. Right now, Lasheen's just looking confident, assertive. One of Egypt's finest players, one of Africa's finest players. It's a pleasure to have him here in Major League Table Tennis. He takes game 1, 11-4, and the Bay Area Blasters, they just keep on rolling here in Everett, Washington.
game number 2 to come.
Bay Area Blasters, they were top of the table starting today. Really moving further ahead. 7 points in the lead now. 6 of those coming straight out of this match against the Texas Smash. Nishant Labaka coming out here looking vocal, more confident. He's got to get a good start here in the second game.
It's a good drop shot, but just hangs up there enough for Lachine to get his forehand going. That was
the side.
Yeah, that was a great smash by Labaka, really stepping around so well. Great angle.
So Nishant Labaka pointing down straight away.
As quickly as possible.
Sure, yeah, that was definitely the side.
And that's just
soft on the flick.
Giving Lachine so many options. Labaka needs to come out quick. Can't afford to spot Lachine any type of lead. It's not a bad move.
Great wide flick, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, when you look at the skill set that Nishant has, what does he have to use to be able to play his strengths against someone like Lachine? Like, how do you set up that flat forehand drive?
He's got to do a much better job of nullifying the serve. He's got to be able to drop it short, low, or push it deep and get some type of softer opening so he has something to work with. But right now, Lachine, once he turns the corner, he can go in either direction, and Labaka just can't set his feet, line up, get a backswing in. It's so fast. He got it with his hand. But you know what? I'm going to give credit to Nishant. He wasn't sure, so he played the point out.
Look at Sonora, he's in stitches. Lachine just looked like, why are you hitting the ball at me?
Right. And of course he went to the one spot that he was most vulnerable, right back at the head. Yeah. Nishant has to be able to do something more with the short serve. Can't afford to have direct errors.
Left, 4-6.
Right into the elbow there of Labaka. Sheen Al Sayed, 7-4 in the lead. Major League Table Tennis merch. Portland Paddlers shirt there.
Ryan Gibson driving up from Portland.
The Nightmare.
Works at Paddle Palace, answering all your equipment questions. Make sure you have what you need. While Al Sayed Lachine shows you what he needs with a great forehand opening to go up 8-5 here in game 2.
And Lachine just putting enough pressure on the forehand side of Nishant that I think we've seen some great step around forehand drives from Nishant, but on the forehand side, he's really just shut him down.
Just positionally, Lachine knows where to go, knows how to take that piercing forehand smash away from Labaka, where he ends up becoming a blocker.
Yep, across the corner, it's Lachine Al Sayed taking the second game, 11-5. Experience such a big factor here in this match. At the third game, we'll see what Nishant Labaka can bring to the table. Right now, Bay Area Blasters, again, moving ahead. Well, the third game is upon us. Lasheen Al Sayed very much in control here of the match so far. Bay Area Blasters 198 points ahead of the Texas Smash now. Some serious separation between Bay Area and the Seattle Spinners currently at the bottom of the table. We started the weekend with the standings so close together. Only 11 points between the top and the bottom. But
and here's the thing is if Lasheen wins this sweep, guaranteed a 5-point spot in the golden game. But you
before the last singles has even started.
Right, but you have Mao Jianbao, who's going to add potential points there. So we could look at a potential route if it stays this way for the final singles match. I mean, that could be a 19-2, which the paddlers would love to see happen to keep them within striking distance at a second spot, while the Blasters would be going into Wichita with a huge level of confidence. They can bring their top team there.
Right, yeah, I mean, yeah, if they can bring this team again to the last weekend in Kansas.
Well, that's a quality backhand opening by Lasheen, just loading it up. Nothing that Labaka really has to work with.
I spoke to Lasheen this morning, asked him about his travel. He said 30 hours to get here from Egypt.
I think he's coming out of Alexandria, and not an easy. We talked about Nikhil's trip from the World Championships along with Nandan, but every single one of these matches for Lasheen is traveling halfway around the world.
Look at the angles from Lasheen Al Sayed. Players switch ends. It's 5-2. Lead for Lasheen. As you mentioned, Sean, one more singles match coming up after this one. It's going to be between Ma Jianbao and Hiramitsu Kasahara. Kasahara will desperately need to get some points on the board for the Texas Smash. I mean, honestly, just to keep them in this, he needs to sweep 3-0, which is not an easy task against Ma Jianbao, especially not this weekend.
Trying to get off that 2 spot there at 9-2, possibly 10-2. Here's Labaka with some smashes.
Oh, what a point from Lasheen.
How
had a bit of everything.
That from the backcourt, you could see that he was setting his opponent up. Had to throw a chop in there, but how quick did he get up to the table? And then that final backhand into the body. You can just see the relief after covering the entire court. Oh, and a great, oh, this is too much. Lasheen, the entire Blaster bench right now is just smiling ear to ear with the power that Lasheen is displaying. I'm not sure what happened on that last one. He got cyber struck on that one. Caught the edge of the paddle. About 8 of them.
Straight off the serve, 9-3. I mean, Lasheen, he's just been in total control of this match so far. We look at Golden Game stats from our good friend who's currently missing in action this weekend, Evan Lepler. And I think the odds of Bay Area right now, they're definitely going to go in with a 5-0 lead. Teams going into the Golden Game with a 5-0 lead, 93.5%. That's updated across this weekend's matches as well.
They'd like to add a little bit more to that.
Backing off again. That one's going way out.
I think he's just having fun out there at this point, going into a little bit of lobbing or exhibition mode. But then he normally backs it up with one of those finishing blows.
Ball ends up in the same place in the crowd. Lasheen Al Sayed, a 3-0 sweep, the experience of one of Africa's most revered players here in MLTT. 11-4, 11-5, 11-5. The Bay Area Blasters guarantee themselves a 5-point lead going into the Golden Game. Well, we head to courtside with Lasheen Al-Sayed. Pretty impressive and one-sided victory there for you, Lasheen. You must be feeling pretty good out there. You've had a long career and you didn't really seem very fazed about the short pips at all. You've probably played every different style from all different players over the world. What was important for you in that match to make sure that you got the 3 points and you've put Bay Area Blasters now in a position where they'll lead 5-0 in the Golden Game?
You know that the competition in our West Division is very hard, and with 1 point can change everything. So it's very important that I get these 3 points for my team, and I hope that we continue winning, because we one win, one lose, and we want to win this also. This match is very important for us.
So you've mentioned your love of the game. How much fun are you having out there when you're chopping from the backcourt and then coming in and making an amazing backhand?
First of all, about the pimples wins match, I like to play against pimples, okay? Because for me it's very clean, so I understand the spin, which is very difficult for many players that they cannot understand the spin of pimples, but I can. So that it's like something I enjoy with. Then he's playing good, and his shot is always strong. He don't make slowly one, so it's need just power, and this is I have that I can play like this. But when I cut or when he's spinning little bit, I feel it's okay. Let's try. I'm old enough to try something new.
Well, a fantastic result for you, Lasheen, and it's been great to see you playing across the weekend and to see you doing better with the elbow in particular. So we hope to see you, of course, in the Golden Game, and maybe we'll see a few more chops thrown in there during that as well.
Wish us good luck. Thank you.
Well done, Lasheen.
Thank you.
All right, now we go into the last singles match. Kasahara, he's the only man here who can save the Texas Smash now. Even 1 point for the Bay Area Blasters, and they take 11. They guarantee that regardless of the Golden Game result, they'll come out with more points than the Texas Smash. But you've got to think, if you look at Golden Game lineups, there's really nowhere for the Texas Smash to run here.
Yeah, it's not just the 5-point lead, it's the fact that the Blasters have their A team here, and they're just bringing the heat. It'll be so interesting how the coaches match up the players for the Golden Game, if they'll take any risks or if they'll just stay pat and try to force the same matchups that we saw in the singles. Kasahara has the speed to give Ma Jianbao some issues, but Ma has been so strong getting his forehand into play.
2-1.
Marjin Bao has made leaps and strides in MLTT this weekend. This is really the most dominant form we've seen him in.
Traditionally a slow starter, it seems like he's really kind of figured out the game plan where the players are playing 3 games regardless. You really don't have one game to spot the opponent. You've got to come out fast.
Jinbao hasn't come up against Kasahara before in the league. Actually, last time in Portland, as Lily mentioned in the post-match interview when you asked about the Golden game, was Lily having to play singles against Kasahara. Look at the line on that.
I mean, Kasahara has weapons on both forehand and backhand, but Ma has the placement. Now up 6-2 here in game 1. Blasters are just continuing to roll after they took that doubles.
Kasahara overhits Marjin Bao. Already off to a lead here. I think this has been the story of this match so far. The Bay Area Blasters just going from strength to strength within matches and within the order.
Their back end has been pretty strong, especially what we saw with Lachine. All court press. And now getting edge ball. It's just the energy from the Blasters bench has been quite noticeable. Even with the amount of smiles and giggles after some of the shots that we've seen. Alexei Duan making sure his teammates always see a positive face.
Just the aggression from Marjin Bao. Kasahara, he doesn't know which hand to try and hit the ball with.
Try the one with the paddle in it.
Sounded by Sean. Look at that backhand down the line. What a rip. Marjin Bao, 11-3. An impressive display from the Bay Area Blasters player, and it's 11-2. That means Bay Area Blasters guaranteed to take home more points from this match in the Texas Smash. We'll be back shortly for game 2.
Number 1 player by world rankings in the US 20. Hiromitsu Kasahara, guess what number he is in the league? Good guess, 11, you're right. 11. Crazy, huh? So fast, so interesting. That's how competitive the play is out here. Another fun fact, Nikhil Kumar, back-to-back 2-time US Master champion. A US national champion versus a US Open champion. US Open is just a much bigger pool. Players from all around the world coming together for that. Nikhil played our US Open champion Jean Valmont in the league and won. There you go. Best of 3. This counts for their USATT ratings and it counts for their MLTT ratings as well. So however they play in doubles, singles, and the Golden game all adds up to their power rating and their power ranking. So it's game number 2. Here we go.
Start of game number 2. 192, the Bay Area Blasters. If everything goes perfectly to plan for them here, they'll be the first team on the West Division to break 200 points. Jinbao still with the opportunity to pick up 2 here in this match. And of course, the Golden game worth 6. Hiromitsu Kasahara has got to put some points on the board for Texas Smash. You talked about this already. Portland, they're just rearing to go against the Seattle Spinners, and a big scoreline here.
Portland had a big break, beating the Blasters with a slightly weaker team, having to sit Machine.
That was a weird back and forth. think there might have been a little bit of a miss-hit somewhere amongst that rally. Jim Bao raises his hand to apologize there. First time we've heard Kasahara vocalizing a bit after winning a point. Kasahara coming into the weekend 11th in the standings, 25 and 11 in singles.
Very solid singles performance. Of course, he's been asked to do a lot of doubles work as well.
See how things turn out after this weekend. I know for sure Ma Jinbao's standing is going to move up considerably.
It just seems like the number of sweeps that we've seen this weekend have been a little bit on the high side, but you've got such strong players that closing the door and getting those first 2 games.
I know Evan, if he was here, would certainly have a statistic for that. But yeah, definitely the 3-0 sweeps have been more prevalent on the West Coast. East Coast, even 2-0 starts, you do tend to see more 2-1 results.
Great serve return by Ma Jinbao, just taking all the pace off the serve, keeping it short and low. Completely handcuffed Kasahara.
That reverse serve setup combo for Jinbao is so effective, especially against the players that like to drop the ball short. We saw it with Jiwei as well.
Just a lot of pop-ups. Kasahara needs to be either more aggressive.
See Portland Paddlers getting warmed up there. There's somebody that's definitely not on the team. It's a mascot. Wonder if we'll see them out here in the audience for the next match.
Or possibly in the Golden Game.
Yeah, in the lineup. Kasahara putting in the work with the forehand, keeping things tied up here. 7 points each. Still a lot of work left to go in this first game.
And for Kasahara, this would not be an easy position for anyone to be out on the table where you've already lost the 11-point game, but he needs to get individual points for his team. Cannot afford to give away a sweep. Great backhand down the line.
I think he even said in his post-match interview that, you know, the points are the important part.
I think everyone has figured out right now it's all about winning a point for your team at any stage. Of course, in the Golden Game, it's 6 points for the victory, 0 for the defeat. So
that's the point of the weekend. That is the point of the weekend. There's no doubt about it. What a finish. Kasahara backed off the table, puts in a big forehand rip, and whips it down the line to finish.
Played the entire table from wide backhand to finally down the line for the winner.
2 fingers in the air. All-star moment for Kasahara. Bao hits back.
What a great step around from the backhand corner. Ma Jinbao just once again getting his forehand into play.
in for another big one there. Jim Bao taking the upper hand here, 9-9. You know, you talked about the mentality of Kasahara being in this position where the team's not going to come out on top on points. But when I did ask him during the post-match interview whether he was trying to take a leadership role, one of the things that he said that's kind of stuck with me is he's just focusing on his own matches and trying to get his points. So I think that'll definitely play into this match here and this situation here.
Such a big fight by Ma Jinbao off of the net serve return. He stuck with it and landed that forehand, which is his bread and butter, and now another game point.
Flips the net. Not the finish that Kasahara was hoping for. Probably not Ma Jinbao either. 11 points to 9. Some outstanding rallies in game 2. We'll hope to see more of that in game 3. Right now, the Bay Area Blasters ahead by 10 points with the golden game coming up after this singles.
Just for the record, there is a golden game no matter what, because this is round robin style. Even though Bay Area Blasters
193 Bay Area Blasters. They've had an outstanding performance here in this third match of the weekend in Everett, Washington. Ma Jinbao 2 games up here. 1 singles game left before the golden game. Kasahara played without a doubt point of the weekend so far.
So much power from Kasahara, but so far this game has been all Ma Jinbao. Strong start for Texas.
I mean, if Kasahara can even get 1 point here, it will be something. Definitely don't want to be 19-2 after this. We've only seen one match with a lower scoreline than that. It's cross division. Carolina winning 20 points to 1 over
Portland, with Jiwei Sha taking the 1 point.
MLTT.com/tickets. Get your front row seats here to see the remaining MLTT weekends. We head to Lawrenceville, New Jersey for the last East Division match mid-March. Wichita, Kansas for the last West Division in early April, and then the top 2 teams from each division face off against each other in Chicago at the end of April to close out season 1 of what has been a fantastic first debut season of Major League Table Tennis.
And the players have just really made it possible, the international stars, and so cool to see the team component where every match, every game, every serve plays such a big role.
Kasahara is just out there on a burner right now, 8-0.
I don't think I'd like to play against him in the golden game.
Point on the board for Ma Jinbao. let's not forget that against the Seattle Spinners, we saw him come back from 8-0, 10-3 as well. He came back and he won the game by golden point against Olajide Omatayo. Another point. Of course, Bay Area Blasters haven't used a timeout here at all. Probably can't see it happening. But that really goes to show the strength of the team.
Right, when you don't need to stop the momentum or give an extra
look. Kasahara whips the ball down the line with the backhand. 11-2, and he gets a point for the Texas smash. Very one-sided third game, but ultimately after the singles and doubles, the Bay Area Blasters 12-3. They go into the golden game with a 5-point lead. Margin Bao 2-1 over here in Mr. Kasahara. So let's take a recap look at the match that was between the Bay Area Blasters and Texas Smash before we head into the golden game. Tao Wen-Zhang got things started 2-1 over Nandan Naresh. The first sweep for the Bay Area Blasters came from a spirited Sonora Silva, winning a decisive 3-0 over Daryl Sao. Coming to the doubles, great start for Amy Wong and Kasahara, but Tao Wen-Zhang and Lily Zhang ultimately able to take 2 out of the 3 there. That teed up another clean sweep from one of the more experienced players in the league, if not the most. Lasheen El Sayed wins 3-0 over Nishant Labaka. And then Margin Bao came out swinging. We saw some outstanding rallies in this match. Won the first 2 games. Kasahara just coming back so strong in the third. 12-3 will go down to MLTT Commissioner Flint Lane for the golden game lineup.
Oh, Flint, the commissioner, had a great question. The question was, why are we taking longer? The answer is, because we're streaming on Fubo. It's a pretty big deal. I don't know if you know about Amazon. Anyone in Washington State heard of Amazon? Kirkland Signature, we got Amazon's Fubo. We're streaming live right there. So big deal. Not just Jumbotron. Oh, look who's on the Jumbotron. Nice. Staying hydrated. I see you. I remember right there near the aisle. That's what people sit when they
So we'll go down to Flint Lane now for the golden game lineup.
Okay, we've got Bay Area Blasters are leading 12-3. Hold on a second. Oh, your coach can't hear. How about now? How about now? Okay. Bay Area Blasters are leading 12-3. You'll be starting with a 5-point lead. Coach, since you're behind, you'll be making the first pick. Who's your number 1?
Kasahara.
Hiromitsu Kasahara is your number 1. Coach?
Jinbao Ma.
Jinbao Ma, you're 1, you're 2.
Wen-Zhang Tao.
Wen-Zhang Tao is your 2.
Daryl Zhao.
Daryl Sao is your 2 and your 3. Nandan Naresh. Coach, 3.
Lashi.
El Sayed Lasheen is your 3 and your 4.
Sonora.
Sonora Silva is your 4.
We go with Amy Wong.
Amy Wong is your 4, making Nishant Labaka your 5, making Lily Zhang your 5. Good luck, coaches.
Thanks a bunch. That was fun. Your Bitsy Gaio, Bitsy, coach for Texas Smash. Here digitally.
Well, some slight changes there to the lineup. Margin Bao matching up again with Kasahara. Tao Wen-Zhang matched up with Daryl Sao. Nandan Naresh with Lasheen. Amy Wang will take on Sonura Silva. And Lily Zhang will play against Lily Zhang. 5-0 start for the Bay Area Blasters. They'll play 3 points to start us off, and then players will alternate each 4 points.
And not the way you want to spot the team. An extra singles point here. And Jin Bahama has got so many opening nets, but you know it's going to go over based on how much spin he puts on the ball. It's always a safe opening. Went for it.
Yeah, went for his shot. Now, American youth Darryl Zhao
against super experienced U.S. Open champion Taowen Zhang.
Darryl throwing everything into that rally, but Taowen Zhang comes out on top.
And just continue to go out to the forehand. Puts a lot more pressure on somebody with Darryl's speed.
Taowen Zhang clean misses. Darryl Zhao puts a second point on the board for the Texas Smash. They can't afford to wait any longer. They need a really strong start here, the Texas Smash, to make up the 5-0 ground, which is now extended to a 6.
They've got to be looking to somehow get at least a sweep somewhere.
Serving 3 is Taowen Zhang, dries his hand, gets ready for his second serve.
And the step around from Darryl.
What an
he gets
angle.
3 out of 4.
What an angle Darryl Zhao was able to deliver. This is going to be an interesting matchup here.
Resh taking on Lachine. And Nandan just totally thrown by that.
Lachine is so good at the angles. He knows where that ball can come back when he adds side spin to his loop. Oh, and that serve, a misread as Nandan splits the first 2.
9-35.
First time less than the original 5-point start, and I spoke too soon. Who knew that was going to happen?
Wow. Again, both teams now with a missed service.
Now Sonura Silva is
We've got a
playing
mixed singles match here.
These two have played before in singles in Pleasanton back in November. Sonura winning 3-0, but we know that the Golden Game is a totally different animal. Amy Wang, she gets the first point. And
3 is the differential.
We've got a game on our hands here, and Texas would love to steal away these 6 points.
That last push was just hanging. And you know Silva with his foot speed is going to be jumping in on that ball.
Golden Game, literally the equivalent of 2 3-0 sweeps.
This is not an easy matchup for Silva because Amy uses the opponent's speed and spin so effectively.
And she plays to the corners all the time as well. It's a lot of ground to cover. Sonura Silva.
Silva dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Literally with those 2 shots as well. And now Labaka against the Paris Olympian Lily Zhang.
Oh, what a shot from Nishant Labaka.
That was a body blow.
Just nails the ball down the line. Coach Jorg in Germany.
Oh, such a big miss to go down by 6. Instead of having an only 4-point differential. Lily with the serve. And she's going to be happy going to backhand with Labaka. Labaka has to figure out a way of getting his forehand in. Lily is just too strong on the diagonal.
16 points to 8. Now Bay Area Blasters in position where they've doubled the score of Texas Smash. 8 points in the lead.
You could see on Lily's face not only the sense of relief, but so aggressive now. The big hitting Majin Bao. Again, turning the corner is what we've seen him do all weekend long here in Everett.
And he's hit the left-hand side of Kasahara with such speed on multiple occasions here. There it is again. 18 to 8, 10 points ahead. Bay Area Blasters. Majin Bao also with the serve. Kasahara sends that ball out to the forehand corner.
18 serving 9. Backhand third is just long, and it is down 19-9. Towel John back in the
Daryl
game.
Sal comes back out here. He made a good impression on his first outing here. 3 points out of 4. And he gets some more points in here for the Texas Smash. Oh, a little off balance. Howard Zhang with the opportunity here.
11 golden game
Clinch
points,
the win.
9 serving 20.
And he gets it with a big forehand. Slightly less energetic celebration from the Bay Area Blasters. We can guarantee that nobody will come out of it with a broken finger. The Bay Area Blasters, they win 21 points to 9 in the Golden Game. 18 to 3 overall.
Congratulations to our hardcore fans, and congratulations to the Bay Area Blasters securing first place. It seems unlikely, if not impossible, but let's say unlikely, that anyone will move Bay Area Blasters this weekend. But we've got the Portland Paddlers and Seattle Spinners coming up at 2 o'clock local time. That is 59 minutes from now. And if we have some extra time, let's see, maybe you'll even have a chance to play on the main table. Don't forget to stop by the merch shop, get your Seattle Spinners shirts, or if you drove up from Portland and you don't have one already, your Portland Paddlers shirts. MLTT.com for everything you need, stats, schedule, player rankings, and all the social media. Subscribe on YouTube to Major League Table Tennis and follow MLTT on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Get some food from our concession stand and get ready for the action at 2 o'clock when your very own Seattle Spinners will see you in just under an hour.
Well, we're going to have a chat with Maggie Tien, the coach of the victorious team. Maggie, you have to be absolutely thrilled with that performance. For the team to come out here and win 18 to 3 against the Texas Smash, I think you guys are in a pretty good position on the standings after this weekend.
I hope.
I'm telling you, you definitely are. You guys are pretty clear in the first position. Obviously, you've had different lineups of players throughout. You've already talked about this being your strongest lineup. Can we expect, do you think, to see this lineup again going into Kansas? I'm sure you'd hope that would be the case.
Yeah, I hope like because it was Tao and Lashi since injured and they trying to recover. Well, I hope they can recover as soon as possible. And Tao just like started the training a little bit since last week. So Lashi also he take the injection shots and then he just come into play. So I was appreciated their performance this weekend.
Also talk about the impact, how well Lily played and Sonora in the matches this weekend.
Well, I think it was for Sonora, I will giving him MVP this weekend. Like since the 2 matches, he won 3-0, and yeah, also like thank you for his performance for carrying our team, and then that's definitely give our motivation. And Lily also like he just finished his her WTT, and then. Yeah, so she trying to play doubles, and then it's like Bay Area's team double is like many partners. We're trying to like finalize for like prepare what we can do the doubles. Like we have so much players.
Do you think now looking back on this weekend that Tao and Lily is a doubles combination that you like? I mean, okay, you don't want to say too much, but. Do you feel confident in them as a doubles pair?
Well, I think it's Chao and Lily or Jinbao and Lily. They both are like good pair. We will see what's in the future, how do we can pair for that. And definitely we will training more and prepare more because for other team, they pair longer time than us. So we will prepare.
Well, Maggie, congratulations. You guys had a great weekend. I mean, that match was outstanding for you guys, and we look forward to hopefully seeing the full-strength Bay Area Blasters team in the last West Division match in Kansas.
Thank you.
Now we'll have another catch-up with Lily Zhang here down on courtside. Well, Lily, in terms of team performance, the team's got to be pretty happy with that result.
Yeah.
You came out here firing in the doubles. You came out here firing in the Golden game. How proud are you of the team performance? I mean, this win over the Texas Smash was really one-sided.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the team, especially coming off of a hard loss last night against Portland. And for me specifically, I mean, we lost 3-0 against Cole and Rachel. So I think a little bit mentally hard to bounce back, and especially when we lost the first game here. But I think, me and Tao, we work really well together. We're both like encouraging each other, supporting each other. So just really happy we were able to bounce back and get a win today.
And will you, going into the Wichita final match, get a chance to work with the teammates in the Bay Area, preparing, maybe playing some more doubles matches and different combos? What will be the team approach?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty new to doubles. This is my first weekend where I'm playing primarily doubles. So I think with every match we're getting better and better, whether it's me and Tao, me and Magic Ball. I think that we're getting strong and a good match for the teams out there.
I know you're, obviously you've qualified for Paris now. You have some big WTT Grand Smash events coming up. What does the rest of that lead up to preparing to be in your best level for Paris look like for you? I mean, I know you already travel a lot to a lot of different events. Sometimes you're showing up at different league matches in different parts of the world. So take us through a little bit how that lead up's going to look for you.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't thought too much in detail about the lead up because I just, found out I qualified, so I took a moment to breathe. But I think, with MLTT being a really good practice, really great matches, high-level matches out there, it's really good preparation for Paris, along with, I think there's 2 Grand Smashes coming up in Singapore and Saudi Arabia, and then a bunch of other WTT contenders, star contenders. So yeah, just going to be fighting and hopefully do my best in Paris.
Well, Lily, great to see you out here this weekend and playing more aggressively and playing with a little bit less pressure on your shoulders again from us and the whole MLTT team. Congratulations on qualifying for Paris, and we'll see you in the next division in Kansas. You'll see Sean and Evan, which is not quite as good, but great win for the team and across the weekend.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, see you next time.
Well, the Bay Area Blasters, they didn't quite get over that 200-point mark, but they got about as close to it as you possibly can. 199 points. It's going to be impossible, almost impossible. The Portland Paddlers, if they swept 21-0, they could equal the Bay Area Blasters. But the Bay Area have made sure that no other team in the West Division are going to finish in a higher position than them. It's really a fight for second position. If you think about things honestly here, for the remaining teams, the Portland Paddlers are going to play against the Seattle Spinners, and it'll be interesting to see how things finish up on this West Coast weekend. Sean, what a performance from the Bay Area Blasters, 18-3.
They brought their A-team, and they totally delivered. Great performance and a number of big sweeps.
Well, we'll be back with the Portland Paddlers taking on the home side, the Seattle Spinners, here in Everett, Washington. It's currently 1:09. That match is in 50 minutes. The Bay Area Blasters, they head away from this weekend in first position. Who is going to end up in the second position? The playoffs are coming up, but there's one weekend left. We're going to have that last match coming at 2 o'clock from me and Sean. We'll be back with you then.